I heard some samples. I heard a couple samples on here. Things from popular songs. And so twofold question. One, how many samples are on this project? It's 15 songs. How many are scattered in there? And two, does that play a part into why it was released where it was and maybe not released in other places?
Yeah, definitely. As far as how many there are, I know right off the top of my head, I can say two that I know for sure that just from hearing it, I already knew what it was. But there could be more. All of these beats, I didn't make any of these beats. They just came straight from YouTube. So that did play a part in the decision of why I just wanted to put it on SoundCloud first. But there's consideration going, getting it further along. But honestly, with the whole project, man, just putting it together, I wasn't planning to do a project when I started. I was really just focusing on getting better with recording, mixing, mastering type of thing. But I hit a point where I was like, oh no, I'm on to something.
On to something.
Yeah,
when did the artwork come along? Was that on or after you were on to something?
It was after. The project was done before I had the artwork. I was really just going through kind of tweaking things, trying to chase that perfection. But the artwork came together, I'd say, within the last 2 or 3 weeks.
No, I definitely feel like you did. You're in that perfection range. When I'm listening to this, man, it sounds we haven't heard in such a long time. It's real chill. I would say Atlanta shit. You know what I mean? That ride in the car, that '03 TIP. You know what I'm saying? You guys said it best for sure. 100%, man. I love these tracks. A couple that I've been listening to. This is like my third or fourth listen now. And I'm glad we actually got the time between today and yesterday for me to listen to it again. Because today I've been vibing to it. And so the '03 TIP is crazy. The Price of Admission, crazy. Outer Space Interlude, crazy. Shout out the production on that for sure. No Favors, crazy. Oh man, insane song, bro. Absolutely insane song. Right now we're listening to GWYL. Tell us a little bit about this track in the future with Junie.
Yeah, so that specific track, that's actually an older one. It might be 2 years old by now. But we just redid it. But Junie is actually, we linked up probably around 2015 or something like that. Kind of randomly, but he's been somebody that's been very big in helping me go, as I learn, or kind of encouraging me to keep going even when the sound isn't right. So I think he'll always be, there'll be a feature on there or idea on there that came from him. But we got a lot more planned too as well. So that's definitely something to look out for.
Yeah, no, I feel like, with him being on the project twice, that's about as good as we could have hoped for, without it being a whole collab project, And so, thankful that you put him on the song, especially the '03 TIP. I feel like to get on that song is a privilege. So I know he was excited to hop on that and mess with that, man. Of course, that's beautiful. And so I'm looking at your discography here and I see The Legend of Leo, and that was released in 2023. And of course, that is a year between this release here, Solstice, and your last release. And so all these songs, they were made in between that time. Were any songs made outside of that time? Any concepts made outside of that?
The one we just talked about with Junie, I know that was an idea, or at least a hook in a verse before the Panthera Leo project. But everything else,
a hook and a verse before the Panthera Leo project. Did you have your part on there back then?
Yeah, it was on there. I was still just working out, the tone of voice, how I wanted to approach it, and how to put it together. I think that was one of Junie's songs, and after a while he was like, I'm not doing anything with it, and I was like, I will.
Yeah, 100% we will. Good little number 11, man. And so when it comes to your tone when you're in the studio, when you're recording this music, I was actually just in the booth with a guy, And I'm not going to say he struggled with the tone, but that was a big area for him that he was trying to hurdle over, kind of being confident in what he was putting down. Even though some of it was really good, he was like, nah, I want to do it again. And so when you get in the booth, what is a hurdle for you? I know you're very, very seasoned, an expert in the game. There's always going to be that next level. So what's the next level that you're trying to conquer right now when it comes to this music?
In terms of like a struggle, the biggest struggle for me, like I said, is just gonna be chasing that perfection. Like, because I'm really doing everything in terms of like recording. I'm just in here by myself, so I'm not really worried about what I sound like or having to deal with that. So I'm able to experiment a lot, and there's a lot that I've tried that did not work that no one will ever hear.
Right.
But I do appreciate just kind of being able to work things out. And as far as the next level, really, I'm just having fun. So learning to let go, not be so obsessed over, one part of it, but just really try to get more of the vibe into the music, because that's really what it is for me. It's fun, I enjoy it, and I'm getting better at it. So just continuing that progression.
Right. No, continuing that progression is definitely important. Let me take a moment here. And so you're how many projects in now, Dallas?
I guess technically this would be 2 with The Legend of Panthera Leo, and this one, before this in 2020, I did start another project that, in terms of like the idea and the writing, is done. Some of it's been recorded, but I've upgraded a lot of equipment. But with that project, I want to kind of get my workflow down to a science and then just go back and update it. So I'm not really having to look for new ideas. That's another one. And then everything else is just in my head. I have a lot of music, even songs that I left off of this project that I'm thinking about putting on something smaller and just kind of dropping as time goes.
No, I think that's important to have those smaller projects. You know what I'm saying? Because, a year between an album is great. But of course, as a listener, we would want a single, a feature, some type of come outside for us. You know what I'm saying? Come play around for us one time. So, when it comes to that type of thing, giving people those singles, those features, where do you feel like that's coming next? Do you feel like you got features coming out in the next year, maybe with Sensei, Junie, Minion, Witcher, or somebody new? Who would that be?
Absolutely, with everybody you just named, everybody that's on this project. Yeah, I can definitely say with everyone on this project, this is not the first time that we've done something together.
And it won't be the last, huh? It won't be the last. Okay, yeah, that's what we needed.
Yeah, if anything, these are the people I reached out to because I know that we got some kind of rapport, and they had something that I was looking for as I was putting the records together. And with singles, definitely, I have a really bad habit of I'll make something and get excited, start sending it to people in my phone. So I'm sure that's going to progress to, it's Tuesday, I feel like it. Let's put this out.
Yeah, 100%. I actually was just in the studio with my homie and we made an absolute banger, and we're like, man, let's just put it out right now. Let's go get some artwork. Let's go upload it to drop as soon as possible. And so, the fans are always going to love that surprise element. They're always going to like that. As much as they love getting it on their phone exclusively for it to drop, that would also be a really big surprise for them that I think people would enjoy. So we definitely want to see more, those singles and those features, just random things that are not a part of our album, come out from Dallas and stuff like that. And so, the other side of all that music, of course, is the marketing. And so when it comes to your perfect marketing plan for an album, what does that look like? If you had everything that you could ever want.
If I could have everything I ever want, the perfect marketing would be I just make the music. And somebody else completely, take over.
Look. If I could just hand it off with a check and they get it done. No, I feel the same way. It's very important to, in this day and age, everybody's got to be independent. Everybody's got to be a one-man army. I kind of wear that badge with honor, being able to engineer, produce, market, shoot the video, write the songs, all that stuff. But in the end of the day, all of those things could be better if you were to specialize more in one lane instead of trying to spread yourself thin. And so I think that that's something that everybody, I think, strives for, is to be able to have the budget made from music or whatever it's from in order to get somebody to handle your music for you and to market it, so you don't really have to do any of that stuff. And I feel like, honestly, in the end of the day, that's when it moves the best, when the boss isn't also on the street. You know, we can't do that. You know, we cannot do that. 100%, man. But yeah, so we're still just listening to the project here. We got down to Need You Tonight. And so when it comes to these more sensual songs, there's a couple of them on here, you know, like In This Room, Need You Tonight, and I can kind of tell now they're together. Is that on purpose, you know, putting those type of songs closer together towards the end of the album?
Yeah, that was on purpose. Once I decided to do a project like this, I originally had about 30 songs for it that I recorded. And then just got to moving things around once I started figuring out what I actually wanted on there. And a way to look at it is, from the very beginning of the project, it kind of starts off like an early morning type of thing. And then throughout the project, it goes from like early morning to a brunch, afternoon, and by the time you get to those songs, that's like the evening. Yeah. So
no, that's, you know, that's big. That's big. So what does solstice mean? Do you know the meaning of the word?
Yeah, solstice. Of course, thinking like of the summer and winter solstices, those being the longest days of the year, but also there are a lot of other meanings you can pull from it. Some things that I kind of looked through. It spoke about new beginnings, like having kind of like clarity of full energy from the sun and transitioning into a new season. And I really felt like that's where I was when I started putting this project together, and even where I'm still at now. Whether it's directly with music or not, you know, learned a lot, still learning, still working to get better, but so transitioning out of some things, like just making music and holding it and not letting anybody hear it. So it was really a project of growth. Took me through a lot, you know, like I said, but I'm satisfied with it. I'm ready to keep my memory.
No, that's how you get the best projects, you know, when it takes a little bit from you and you give a little bit to it, and there's a nice exchange there. I feel like some of my best projects definitely have been long in the making. You know, there's been obstacles during it that I've overcome, and it's made me better as an artist. So I know that when you're on, you know, this many projects and you're getting those pieces of armor, you've already made the body strong, and now you're getting that armor. You know what I'm saying? Now we're getting the second layer, and then we might get that third layer, that aura. You get the aura with the armor and a strong body. You can go kill any evil, you know what I'm saying, anything you want. So as you continue to make those projects and overcome those obstacles, you're definitely going to continue to make better music. And, you know, we can hear it. We can hear it. You know, not that you don't have amazing music from back then as well, because, you know, we always got time today. But, you know, it's a new day today, man. So very, very, very excited to hear this new stuff from you, man. Is there anything that you want to talk about specifically with the project, something that we haven't gone over?
Specifically with this project, it would be just the overall intention behind it. It was just to have a good time, to catch a vibe. I think I put a couple different elements of a lot of things I've learned along the way on there. But I intentionally didn't, you know, go into anything too deep or crazy, because I do have songs and projects for that. But for this one, I just wanted to just kind of capture that good feeling with this and some of the other stuff I've done and what I'll do after. You can tell a big influence for me is, like you said, music you can drive to, just ride to it, whatever's going on and whatever the feeling is. So that would be the main thing. Just enjoy it. It's still, I listen to it, and there are things I want to go in and tweak that you might not ever notice, but same way I'm learning to kind of let go of that. I just want everybody to just play it, have a good time, and do what you're gonna do with it.
Yeah, no, I definitely feel like. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I was saying the thing I said was the process was for me, the product is for everybody else. So I got what I needed from it already.
Yeah, no, we love that, and we're getting what we need from it right now. You know, I'm listening to it right now. I'm energizing right now. Every time I hear this, it makes me want to roll up, pour up, vibe up. You know what I'm saying? Especially
sir.
if you listen to the whole project at once. If you're not skipping around, if you're not on shuffle, listening to it in your likes, if you actually go to the project, listen to it top to bottom. Once you get to like track 8, track 9, it's gonna be something in your hand. It's gonna be a steering wheel, a cup, a blunt, something is gonna be in your hand. By the time that solstice come in, some new beginnings, something gonna pop. 100%, man. So this is really dope. I really enjoy the project. I know that everybody who's listening to it enjoys it as well. Not really anything else to go over as far as the music. Is there anyone you want to shout out other than, of course, the amazing people who worked on the project with you, including Junie, Sensei, Minion, Junie again, Witcher, and who did you say made the artwork? The amazing artwork?
Yeah, so that's my best friend from elementary school and on up. His name is Marcellus. You can find him at De La Celis on Instagram and everything else. Crazy with artwork, photography, digital and film. So definitely tap him first whenever it's anything art related, because y'all don't want me to get on Photoshop and look crazy. But definitely him, and I, like you said, everybody that's a part of the project, as well as everybody that was involved, whether it was a conversation with me or listening to me vent about the project or posting little cryptic messages on Instagram, you know, just kind of waiting for it to happen. My family, of course, too. So just everybody who had anything to say or ear to listen can express how much I appreciate it.
Two more things. One thing for the producers and one thing for the consumers. So for the producers, what did you engineer this project in? What platform?
So I'm using Studio One 5. I think I have 6, but I started it in 5, so I just kept working in 5.
I was expecting a lot of stuff, but it was not Studio One. Oh my God, you heard it here first, folks. Studio One, get on it. Get on it. And for the consumers, I seen you talking about cryptic tweets and messages. You posted the other day, I believe it was you. You said that, you know, this is a nice riding music, chilling music, but I've got these other songs that are crazy. I've got these other songs that are hard. They're in the vault and they're going somewhere. So when can we expect those? Within the year, after a year? What are we thinking?
I'd say just keep an eye out and keep an ear out. I have
some ideas and some planned surprises along the way too. I kind of learned myself too. I'm not gonna put a final date on anything. I'm just gonna create up until I feel like it's there, and then it's gonna be out. I'm not having to wait on anybody to get anything done. So whenever it feel right, it's happening. But definitely soon. I just say soon.
Good. You heard it, guys. You have to stay tapped in to figure out exactly when, but it's coming. More of those cryptic messages. Follow his stories, follow his posts. Okay, that's DAL7AS. That's Dallas on all platforms. Make sure you go check out Solstice right now out on Soundcloud. Okay, a pleasure having you, Dallas. Anything else you want to say before we get out of here?
That was about it, man. I really appreciate it. Definitely.
No problem, Dallas. We love talking about the music, and we're going to see you again, okay?
Sounds good. Take care, boss.
See you, man.
All right, man.